Why I chose to come to Germanna. I'm a public administrator by background. And in public administration, you help large groups of people achieve a mission in a large public organization. And so it's really all about the mission. And if you're going to work long hours and you're going to really devote yourself to an organization, you want the mission to be a good fit for me. The mission that's something that really grabs onto you. I have worked the last 10 years in higher education administration, and I found more and more that for me, the mission of undergraduate education, especially for students that could just use an extra help up, was the mission that kept me awake at night worrying that I'd done a good job, that kept me working the long hours. When this job opened up, I have become extremely aware of the value of the community colleges in Virginia. I have worked a lot with transfer students who come in as juniors to the four-year institutions and seen how well prepared they are academically. I have worked with students that are developmentally in need of some extra help and seen what the community colleges can do for them. So I felt that the community colleges embodied the mission that I had grown to realize was my mission also. So when the job opened up at Germanna, I applied for it.
That's great.
My master's degree is in government, majoring in public administration, specializing in budgeting and finance. Public budgeting was my first love. And I worked for about 8 years as a civilian financial analyst for the U.S. Navy. The Navy will always have a spot in my heart. But long hours, when I decided I wanted to have children, I decided to stay home. When they got a little older, I decided to realize one of my lifelong personal dreams, which was to get my PhD. And I went to Virginia Commonwealth University, got my PhD in public policy and administration. And I told them when I applied that I was not going to stay in academia. I was going to go back into practice, probably back to the Navy. And to not accept me if that wasn't the kind of student they wanted. Just as I was starting the dissertation phase, they asked me to teach a class. And I taught undergraduate introduction to U.S. government and just loved it. Just as I finished my dissertation, I was offered a job full-time, teaching full-time, 12 hours a semester, and really enjoyed that. My supervisor, department chair, was also a public administrator, and he came to me and said, how are you enjoying it? I said, love teaching, love the students, love the contact with the students, but in my heart, I'm an administrator, and I'm going to want to go back to that. And he said, higher ed's a large public organization, and I think it's a mission you would really like. Why don't you become assistant department chair for a semester? See if that suits you. And from then on, there was no looking back. I realized I was where I belonged. I was doing what I wanted to do, and I was proud of what my organization was able to achieve. That's how I ended up in higher education administration.
Great.